Hey guys, part 2 of the video. I just got through the guitars, so let's take care of the pedals. This was going to be a shorter video because I actually don't have all my rig here. Most of my pedals are in Rhode Island, but I've managed to acquire a hefty few. And no, I'm not wearing pants. So, suffer through that. Just gonna run. I don't really have placement right now. That's one of the things which I need to figure out. But general concept, I'm gonna be starting with, I don't have a compressor. That's one of the things I need to get actually, because I really like using compressors for leads. But the old compressor I had broke really, really hard at a show because it like had a plastic case and yeah, just I don't want to get into it, but yeah. So this is what I got now. Some of it's cool, some of it's really not. And then I'm going to discuss some of the pedals I got back at home, which I'm going to be using for the second half of the tour. So let's start with this bright orange son of a bitch first. I've been using this. It's a Mega Distortion from Boss. And a nice wear and tear. The paint is going away. I've had to replace one of the knobs. I forget which one. Which I just dissected off of another Boss pedal. But yeah, it's a nice beefy tone. Through the right amp, it'll sound a bit like a Marshall, like that's really, really distorted. You can clean it up, because the cool thing about it is you've got the level knob, you've got the upper tone knob, the overall tone, and then you've got like a bass boost, which is like the bottom, as it's called on the thing. And it's a nice concentric knob, meaning that it's like, dual centric. There's a center post knob and then an outer knob. On the bottom, you've got a distortion knob, which is the general gain of it, and then a gain boost right here, which, as it sounds, boosts the gain even further. So you have it like this, and you're pretty much doing noise. The other person, I actually have a friend who uses this, Supersaw Hoover Zovi. If you've heard of her stuff, she uses this through, what's it called, with a theremin, I believe. And it's a really good distortion pedal. It's not going to give you the most amp-like distortion, but, you know, I do industrial rock, and I don't mind that. Like, I mean, one of the other pedals, as you'll see, is, like, most people, like, serious guitarists, when they see that kind of shit on a board, they laugh at and scoff at them. But yeah, it's a good pedal, really nice. I actually believe, something tells me that one of the guys from Coheed and Cambria used this, and it's really good for getting things like a Van Halen tone if you know how to do it right, though you're going to be having like this not boosted up all the way. It's really good for like Black Label Society stuff, that Zakk Wylde's really rich boosted amp with a fucking overdrive along with it, which is kind of what this, if I'm correct, what the gain boost is used for. And this, for the longest time, was my main pedal. However, I'm probably going to be using amp distortion on the road. However, always nice to have a backup. And I might use this for some of my more, you know, really heavy, brutal stuff. So, who knows. Next up on the list is another Boss pedal. This I generally use as a boost, but I think because of another pedal I'm going to be showing, I'm going to be using this for a light distortion. It's a blues driver, and just so you know, the settings are not set yet. I need to actually figure that out once I get the amp over here. Which, again, if you didn't watch the second one, or if you forgot, it is in the shop at the moment. So, this is a BD2 Boss Blues driver, very basic overdrive. It's basically a Tube Screamer, T808, or, yeah, a Tube Screamer on meth, because it's brighter and it's gnarlier. And I like it more, personally, because the Tube Screamer is good for, it's very mellow. I don't like very mellow tone. I'm very much more in-your-face kind of shit. Like, I would much rather have Dave Mustaine's distortion than I would James Hetfield's. Which, it's very biting, very in-your-face. And I tone that back a bit, but, like, if I'm using this for a distortion, it'll give me, in my opinion, the T808 gives you a decent boost and some grit. This gives you distortion. And so I actually prefer this because it's a bit heavier and a bit more intense. And I used to use this as a clean boost where I just have the gain up to like there, the level up to like there, and the tone set where I like brighter about right there. So it was a treble booster similar to what Brian May uses, well, set up so it almost sounds like it. But yeah, I think I'm going to be using this for a thickener or an overall distortion for cleaner stuff, like, for example, for Pony One Kenobi's set. Next up on the list is probably what I'm going to get killed for, is, I guess at this point it's considered a vintage pedal, but it is one of the first multi-effects pedals that I can think of. And it is a Zoom 1010. And then all the hardcore guitar nerds shut off the video immediately seeing this. This thing is, like, seriously, it's basically the precursor to the Digitech RP series, which I actually had one. I had an RP250 and it was okay. But it's got the ability to switch through banks of effects, and then you can choose one of 3, which I believe is a general setup used today. I know that that's how the Line 6 amps that we're going to be using on tour are set up. And it's got, you know, a couple of different types of distortion. It's got both rhythm. It's got, you can either do it direct in and then an amp simulator, so it's got like rhythm, a classic overdrive, valve overdrive, which doesn't really sound like a valve overdrive, but you know, they try. Vintage overdrive, drive master, you know, they like that drive. Fuzz, which is the one I use, because it gives me a, and I'll get into why in a moment, power lead and metal T. And again, you can have both the amp simulator on and off of that. I don't know if you can see that all that well. Plus, it's got compression and a wah if you have the external output, which you can get, and I believe most wah pedal things, like controllers, will work for this, because it's general circuit. And it's got a built-in compressor, which I have yet to really play with. You got the distortion, it has built-in EQ, and a chorus, or a flanger, or a doubler. So you got one of the 3, and then you can have either a reverb or a delay, which has all the things you can go in and set everything. It's got a built-in tuner, and then again, you know, you're able to switch between banks, and then switch between 3 sets in each bank. So, like, for example, lead, overdrive, like, clean, overdrive, lead, basically. It's a general setup, I think. I use it for its fuzz tone, which gives me a very, very intense, very gnarly distortion. I actually was using this in rehearsals with Don DeVore, who's playing keys with me, on Rejected and stuff, and it's weird, because though it gives you a nice, bright, fucking powerful distortion, it also sounds very loose. It's not very meaty, and it's kind of unique in that. It's almost like it was playing it like there's little mids and little bottom end, even though it's popped up. And though it's not a really desired effect, it's something which sounds cool. And I'm not one very, like, I like 2 tones. You know, if given, I actually want a Bugera 1990. It's the amp that I'm saving up for, especially now that they've got the Infinium or Infinity thing going on, which auto biases the tubes, which will save me a lot of time and money. But, like, this, it's cool, and it gives a nice effect, it gives a different effect. And as much as I like that like, standard guitar distortion and stuff, I am all about experimentation. I'm all about noodly-doodly stuff. Getting different sounds, getting different tones. You know, if I had the money, I would have, like, 6 or 7 different amps, which I would switch through. And a whole board of fucking pedals, which I would have to have a fucking like a fucking dolly bring out on me. I apologize for my language, by the way. I swear like a fucking sailor. Anyway, so there's that. I'm actually tossing up whether or not I'm going to bring it, but if I do, it'll be mainly for distortion and for the modulation effects, which, though they aren't the best, they sound very 80s. Like, I'm able to get a really good police distortion out of this. Not distortion, like, chorus. So, early Dream Theater, Rush, you know, the every breath you take stuff. You know, good old Police, good old Sting. No, Sting was the bassist. Anyway, God, the name of the guitarist is going to bother me for hours now. So, still up in the distortion thing, gonna get with this one, going from sounding cheap to literally being cheap, the Pastrami Overdrive from Danelectro pedals. And this is really cool, because it's an overdrive. It's like $3. I got it for 10 used. It's made out of plastic, but still kind of durable. And it's got 2 knobs. It's got level and overdrive. And when you turn it up and you turn everything up, it sounds like an intense fuzz. You know, like when you max it out, it sounds like a full-on fuzz face, in my opinion. And I love that sound. I love fuzz tones. I'm going to be using this mainly as a booster, though, which is probably going to be switching out the blues driver, so I'm able to put that to use in other things. Because this is an excellent booster. Because it's like, if you set it just right, it's like, it just boosts the treble just a little bit, and I love that. Okay, so next up, again, continuing with the distortion, but this time going back to fuzz, we've got this little piece of shit. The MXR Blue Box. If you've ever heard the song Fool in the Rain, you've heard this effect. It's by Led Zeppelin. If you haven't, go check it out, listen to the solo. This is the pedal that was used, not the exact pedal, but the type, the kind, the actual brand. The MXR Blue Box is pretty simple. It's an output knob and a blend knob, and I kind of want to get it modded to give a tone knob, but that's just me. I don't know how easy it would be to do that. So, like a tone knob and an overall, like it's got an output, yeah. And I want to get like a gain knob, but, because it's got one sound, and you switch, well, two sounds, and you switch between the normal fuzz sound, which is here, and then you go to this, which is a sub-octave. So whatever you play, you got the normal fuzz tone, and then a fuzz tone 2 octaves below what you're playing, which is insane for solos and for some riffs. Like, it just makes it so beefy that if you do it right in conjunction with some things, it sounds like a friggin' synth. Like, I actually was thinking for the longest time of using this in conjunction with the Zoom 1010 distortion in order to get that lead tone from what you hope to find down. And so this is it. I have a couple of things I want to use this for, so it is coming on tour, but it's not going to be something I use a lot. To be honest, I would much rather invest in a separate octave and a separate fuzz thing if I can't get this modded, but really my one big gripe with it is the inability to control the gain and the inability to control the overall tone, because you have literally just the level, and you've got the blend between the sub and between the normal tone, and the normal fuzz. So you can't make it louder, you can't make it harsher. It's just like, the only way to make it louder or harsher is to boost that up, and generally in order for it to sound on an amp, you have to have the output all the way up anyway. Which is, not the best thing. But it gets a good tone. And if you set it up right, it really works. Next up, the first non-distortion pedal, and it's probably going to be the first thing in the chain. It's probably my favorite on the board, and the one I'm definitely bringing. And this is the Dunlop Wah Crybaby from Hell. It is the Dimebag Darrell signature model. If you don't know who that is, then go listen to some Pantera, because he is the lead guitarist for them. It was modeled to his specs. The beautiful thing about this is I've tried a bunch of pedals. I've tried the Slash model, I've tried the standard Crybaby, a couple of others, and I just love this one, because not only do you have a volume, a general variable Q of it, and like a fine tune to control like the frequencies that it switches, but you have a massive knob on the side which controls the wah range. And it allows you to have a wide sweep or a small sweep of it, which is like the wow, wow, wow sort of thing. It's the wah, like, it's named after the effect that it gives, which was designed after the trumpet playing of, my brain's telling me Dizzy Gillespie or whatever, I can't pronounce his last name, but I think I might be wrong. So I'm going to put an annotation over that to tell you guys how wrong I am, or if it is really that guy, and I'll leave a link to him in the thing. But, yeah, so the cool thing is that, like, you're able to control how much wah you want, how much sweep you want, instantly. Just a turn of the knob. Like, right now, you turn it clockwise, you low, you pull it all the way back, and it's a nice high sweep, which is what I like. But sometimes, like, I'll mellow it down. I'll put it down right in the middle, or I'll boost it really down if I want something throaty, like used in Tool. And this is a fantastic pedal. I use it whenever I can, and it's a shame that I record direct in, because if I wasn't, this would be on pretty much every solo. I would abuse it more than Kirk Hammett does his. And lastly, on the pedal side of things, this is the Boss DD20, which is the best delay pedal I've ever come across. I'm a bit of a Boss whore, if you haven't noticed already, and I've got more back at home, but this is just everything I would want in a delay pedal and more without being too much. It's, when plugged in, it's got, you know, stereo input, stereo output. You're able to listen to it through headphones, which is really cool, and you're able to, like, if you want to, like, monitor it, I guess, and you're able to listen to, have a control pedal to be able to control the overall speed using a expression pedal or to tap tempo it. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. I have yet to do either because I've got the tap tempo built in, but who knows. Anyway, you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different delays, as well as a sound-on-sound looper function, which is really cool. You know, you can control the overall tone of the delay, which is fantastic because it can give you a very low pass, like a high pass delay for, what's it called, vocals type stuff, or for leads, where you're able to have like a low thing for clean stuff or for eerie sounding stuff. And it's really cool. You've got the effect level feedback, and you're able to select between a standard delay, an analog delay, which emulates something a bit warmer. I like this one a lot. A tape delay, which is just as it sounds, and you're actually able to go in and control the tape head times. A warp delay, a twist delay, which I'm going to get to in a moment. Dual delay, which is just as it sounds, it's 2 different delays. A pan delay, which uses the stereo sound in order to pan them left and right. A smooth delay, which I don't actually know what it does. I'll figure that out. A modulate delay, which modulates very softly the delay signal, which gives you a nice chorus tone, and I use that for a lot of cleans. And a reverse delay, which is exactly as it sounds, and you're able to have it either with or without the dry tone, which makes it sound incredible. And it's just like, not something you'll use every day, but it is an effect that I'd use. And go back to these two, the warp delay and the twist delay. When you have the warp delay on and you hold down this pedal, it turns the overall effect level and the feedback up all the way. And it just throws it all up, and it allows you to play over and just have it go on forever. Just delay for days. You know, it sustains for days. And then a twist, which is similar, but when you hold that down, it oscillates it. So it sounds like, what's it called, like a bit of a tornado going on. And it goes up in pitch and just rises and rises until you let go, in which it dive bombs. And I inappropriately used it in the very end of the Ballad of Autumn Dreams, in the live recording on my Tarby Unplugged album, which you can buy on Bandcamp. I'll link that in the D-bar below, if YouTube hasn't changed it by the time I upload it. Not very happy about the new layout, by the way. So, anyway, let's see how I look. I don't know how I look. Not the most flattering picture of me, but I don't really have a stand, so I don't feel comfortable setting this up for me. On top of these pedals, I have a Soundblocked Trimod Flanger, which I won in a contest from effectsbay.com. I won that in a giveaway, which was nice. It was awesome. And it just gives you all kinds of flange tones. I wish I had it with me, because I would use it all the time. I also have a Boss Phaser, PH3. I have a Boss Super Chorus, which I like more than the other chorus that they have, because the Super Chorus is really good for leads and stuff. Well, the Chorus Ensemble, the CE5, I use the CH1, it is good for, like, I don't know, it's like, it's a much more mellow effect, whereas the Super Chorus is like, hey, here's some fucking chorus. And I like some fucking chorus. And I could turn it down if I need to, it gives you a nice little ballady thing, but it's like, if I need to get it beefy up and sound like, emulate the, Memory Man, no, not a Memory Man, the effect pedal that, Kurt Cobain used on the solo for Smells Like Teen Spirit, like that kind of chorus, that, like, warbly, almost atonal sort of thing. I can get that if I want to. I have another distortion pedal, which I believe it's the Metal Zone, another fucking Boss pedal, big fucking surprise. And I believe, unless my mind is somewhere else, that's it. Oh, and I have a broken rotary emulator, which is broken, it doesn't work. But yeah, that is my pedal board. I need to actually get a board, but that's what I got right now. I'm going to be investing in a chorus. I'm going to be investing in another rotary thing because I love that tone and I use it a lot because of my Pink Floyd and Porcupine Tree influence. And I also want to get another compressor. Just compress it so that the cleans sound nice and even and my leads can sustain for days. Sorry, I need to watch Spinal Tap and get that on my system. Yeah, so this is Tarby. This is video 2, and then the next video, which should be shorter, is going to be my accessories and unboxing that son of a bitch.